Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to thank the organization, give me the chance to be here today and to explain you the work we have been doing trying to inoculate adult hazelnut growths with tuber melanosporum. Today I'm going to show you some of the results of a 4 years study we have done with the University of Barcelona and with the companies called Forestal and Apli Micologia. There you have the name in Spanish. The study area, it's located in the northeast of Spain. For you to be located better, here is Barcelona. And in black you can see or in gray you can see the part with acid soils in the Iberic Peninsula, and in white there are all the limey soils in Spain. In fact, we have in that study area more than 20,000 hectares of hazel trees for hazelnut production, and they are most of them on limey soils. And despite of the higher levels of fertilization and of the uses of pesticides, they still produce truffles naturally. They produce tuber brumale and tuber melanosporum naturally. Our aim is try to coordinate the hazelnut production with the truffle production to give an added value to the crop, to the hazelnut, because it's now sunk in an economic crisis in Spain. So our study has three main steps. First was to study the truffle environment on hazelnut growths, trying to get some clues why some of them produce tuber melanosporum, others produce tuber brumale, and the others doesn't produce any truffle at all. So with the first results, we chose some sites to inoculate. We tested different types of inoculation that now you are going to see. And the third step was try to develop an agronomical way of inoculation. This means there has to be a mechanical, easy, and not expensive way of inoculation. Well, what first we did was to analyze several soil samples of different hazelnut growths. And what we found is that tuber brumale prefers soils with lower pH and higher levels of organic materia and organic nitrogen. And one thing it's pretty important that it's at lower altitudes, at lower elevations, the hazelnut trees are planted at higher densities, and usually they have water to irrigate them. So these grooves becomes shallow and with more weeds, that it seems a better place for tuber brumale to grow. And at higher elevations, trees are planted at less densities, and they don't have water to irrigate. And these sites are the best where you can find tuber melanosporum. Another data we found is that tuber brumale prefers, well, it's more tolerant to higher levels of fertilization than tuber melanosporum. With these results, we did the first inoculations by injection. We chose 4 fields between 7 and 11 years old. Before the inoculations, well, we did all the inoculations we have done twice. First inoculation in April, March, and the second inoculation in September, October. All are sporals inoculation. Before the inoculation, we tested 2 pre-treatments. The first one was a phosphorus fertilization, a high phosphorus fertilization, with the aim to generate new fine roots and try to, we wanted to lose some mycorrhizas into the soil, okay? And the second pretreatment was a soil disinfection with the aim to reduce the competing fungi, and because this agent, the product we are using, are still developing, but the product we are using is a great oxidant of the organic material. So we wanted to change the carbon-nitrogen ratio. We wanted to the same of, ¿cómo se dice? Disminuir. to decrease the organic material. Sorry. Well, the levels of mycorrhization we got is what you can see at the end of the table. It's all our qualitative rates. That means we just look for presence or absence of mycorrhizas of tuber melanosporum in the root samples taken from every one of the inoculated tree. So it's between 38 and 72% of the trees got mycorrhizas of tuber melanosporum 2 years after the inoculation. This is the tool we use for the inoculation. It's just hammering with a backpack sprayer. All the inoculations were with a sporel. The sporel inoculations embedded with an hydrogel. We wanted to use a sticky hydrogel because we don't want the spores to be washed down to lower layers into the soil. And to use a water retaining is pretty important in the inoculations in the spring, because probably it doesn't come any rain in the next 2-3 weeks after the inoculations. So in our springs it's pretty important to use this. And well, sorry. Yeah. No. Well, in this other picture, you can see a new mycorrhiza of tuber melanosporum formed through the hydrogel. It's from a root sample taken 2 years after the inoculation. Well, with these results, we choose now, if you remember, the third step was to try to develop an agronomical way of inoculation. Then, what we did was to choose now what we thought they were best placed for tuber melanosporum at higher altitudes between 900 and 1,000 meters over the sea level, all of them facing to south or west. And in all the inoculations, we did a disinfection pre-treatment. And the inoculation was done by tractor. With the tractor, you break the roots and you generate fine new roots. Then, again, the rates of mycorrhization, what you can see here are qualitative rates. So between 50 and 69%, it depends on the treatments, of the trees presents mycorrhizas of tuber melanosporum 2 years after the inoculation. This is a picture about how the inoculation with the tractor plowing works. It's just with a large bottle with 50 or 100 liters of inocula. The inocula drops by gravity into the soil, and it keeps buried. And, well, after 2 years of these inoculations, we are still searching some truffles to grow. Well, maybe it's soon, but last season the conditions for truffle growing in Spain were pretty good, but none of the inoculated trees has produced any black truffle at the moment. And but anyway, the new mycorrhizas form seems to be stable along the time, because the second year the levels of mycorrhization are higher than the first year samples. And what we gotta do now is try to adjust or to adapt the agronomical practices for the hazelnut production that lead us to a truffle production. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Any questions?